So recently, when I was trying to book a ticket for a movie with my cousin said that he'll do the payment in LazyPay. And I was suddenly taken back, and I've heard about LazyPay and all other buy now pay later apps, but I didn't realize that it has become so democratic, or it has become so popular among normal people. Right? And another incident is that since I run a digital marketing agency, I get a lot of leads who are prospective customers. And last month, particularly, I got two buy now pay later apps as a lead, and both of them were heavily funded by VCs, and they wanted to grow like crazy in India. So it gave me a thought. Okay, what is this hype about buy now pay later in India? And that's what I'm covering about in this video. So first of all, what is buy now pay later? What is BNPL? Buy now pay later is a type of short-term financing that allows customers to make purchases and pay for them at a future date, often interest-free. And I'll explain to you the process. You make a purchase from a retailer or a website who has buy now pay later app installed in their website or in their shop, and you click on that buy now pay later button while you're checking out, right? And if you're approved, you just make a small down payment. Usually it's just 25% of the overall purchasing amount, and then you pay off the remaining amount due in a series of interest-free payments. Usually it's you can divide it into 6 or 3 or 2 according to your wish. And you can pay via credit card, debit card, or even bank transfer. So that's how a buy now pay later scheme works. So most of the buy now pay later apps just need a soft credit check for approval, which doesn't affect your credit score. But some apps may conduct a hard pull out of your credit, which could knock a few points out of your credit score. The maximum credit that is currently being allowed in India via BNPL apps is 1 lakh, which is way lesser than what credit cards offer. The big players in India when it comes to BNPL are LazyPay, Postpay by BharatPay, and sizzle. The current market size for BNPL apps are about 3 to 3.5 billion, and it is predicted to become 40 billion or 50 billion in just 5 to 6 years from now. And the number of users currently in India which are using or who are using BNPL apps are about in between 10 to 15 million. And checking about the fact that why is it so popular among Indians, the answer that I got is that only about 60 to 70 million, which means only 6 to 7 crore out of the 120 or 130 crore Indians have access to credit cards, which means 93% of the Indians doesn't have access to any formal credit source. And when buy now pay later apps comes in, the rest 93% of Indians suddenly have access to credit or have an access to about 1 lakh rupees credit when you're buying something. And I'll just shoot you with one small statistics which will give you an idea about how fast the growth is right now for BNPL apps. So in the last 2 years, there is a jump of 45 times in terms of the number of transactions done through BNPL apps and services. So you can see how much it has been growing in the last few years. Coming to the disadvantage, there are mainly 3 disadvantages. First one is that organizations or the apps which are behind BNPL currently are not reporting the correct or accurate default credit statuses to credit bureaus. The reason is that the amount that people are borrowing or taking credit are very small, which is usually below 1 lakh. That's why there could be a mismatch between the records that the credit bureaus have versus what these apps are giving out as credits. And the second point is that even if you pay back on time, using these BNPL apps, you won't see an increment in your credit score. But if you pay back on time while using your credit card or while you're repaying your EMIs, you will see a jump in your credit scores. The third one is that the most annoying one or the big problem that I see happening is that you might end up buying more things when you don't even have the money to buy them, right? People who have access to credit cards, they usually have really good salary and they have a really good transaction history. and they can afford to take money when they want to buy something, and they might not have that amount of liquid money in your bank, right? But when it comes to BNPL, there is no criteria. It is usually given to mostly anyone who apply for it. So that means that even if you don't have a really good credit score or a really good salary, you are able to buy anything even if you don't have the money for it. That could be a very bad deal for the youth, because right now everyone is exposed to a lot of ads, influencers, Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. And people are buying a lot of stuff just because of FOMO. So that's it. And I'll come back with another video next week. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, like button, comment your thoughts. See you next time.